Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me on my latest YouTube video. Today we are going to be looking at some VCLT that I have been sent. So we'll be looking at that in a few moments. But first we're going to do some Beatle Dave's twist and shout outs. Yeah! I must apologise because some of these are from different countries. So I might not pronounce them right. So if I don't pronounce them right, I am very, very sorry, but I will do my best. The first is to Bob at John Paul George and Ringo, or JPGR. I did give him a shout out on, I think it was either the first or the second Beatle Dave's twist and shout outs that we did, but unfortunately I didn't mention his wife, so I am sorry. I am sorry, I really am sorry. And I think her name is Erin. I could be wrong, but I think it is Erin, so if I've got it wrong I'm very, very sorry. But here's your twist and your shout out to Bob and his wife Erin. I hope I've said that right. I really do hope I've said it right. The second one goes out to my #1 fan in Spain, and his name is Abel Levante. I think I've got that right, Abel Levante. So here's your twist and your shout out to Abel Levante. Fantastic subscriber, actually. Always write something positive, never anything negative, it's always positive, so thank you very much. And the third one goes to a YouTube channel that I have only just discovered since about January time, and I discovered this through Rachel's Ghost, actually, and it's a lovely little channel, and it's called A Little Beatles Corner, and it's a lovely lady that does it. She is a first generation Beatles fan based in America, so check it out. You know, it's a great channel, so I hope that does. So this is your twist and your shout out to A Little Beatles Corner, so check that one out. I can't do my twist very good at the minute because I've actually got something at the side of me. And as you can see, I have still got a cough and a cold. So if I cough or sneeze or sound a bit groggy during this video, I am very, very sorry. Now, the fourth Beatle Dave's twist and shout out goes to the Vinyl Vault. So here's your twist and your shout out to the Vinyl Vault, and he has kindly sent me some VCLT. Now, I never actually knew what VCLT stood for. I think it is Vital Community Love Train, but I could be wrong. But he just said he was going to send me some gifts, some Beatles records gifts, so we're going to have a look at them. I did open them up yesterday and I did have a quick look, so you're going to be seeing them sort of as I'm seeing them now, sort of. I did do this video, I did do try and do a video of this yesterday, and it didn't come out right, so I'm redoing the video. So I hope this won't spoil anybody's enjoyment if they did watch it, but I think it was only on for about half an hour and I took it down. So the first one that the Vinyl Vault sent me is this lovely 7-inch picture disc of the Beatles' Love Me Do. Isn't that lovely? Hey, look at that. Isn't that great? And on the B side is PS I Love You. Lovely. These were released, I think this was released in 1982, off the top of my head I think they were, and they was released roughly on the original date 20 years afterwards, so it was like the 20th anniversary, and every UK Beatles single was released 20 years, you know, for 20th anniversary. I actually didn't think I'd got this one, but looking through my records I have actually got it, but it's still a fantastic thing to have. And these do actually go for quite some money sometimes. Not that I'm selling them, I will never ever sell anything that somebody sent to me, because that would be disrespectful, wouldn't it, folks? I'm just honoured, and I do mean this, I am honoured and chuffed and over the moon that somebody has been bothered to send me something, a gift for nothing. So that is the first one. The Beatles Love Me Do Stroke PS I Love You picture disc single. And like I say, I haven't really got many of these, mate, to be honest. I think I've got another copy of this, but I think this is actually a better copy than the one I've got. And I think I've got, off the top of my head, From Me to You, and I think it is paperback writer, but I couldn't be wrong. The rest of them I didn't get, but you can buy these as a set, so you can get all of these singles in a set, and they are mega money, and I do mean mega money. You'll be talking at least £500. But the thing was, when these came out, they didn't sell in great quantities. Now we'll get on to the albums. There's two lots. There's not just two albums, there's a few albums in each one. So we will look at this one first. I'm trying not to put my head down, but if I do, I will apologise. The first one is the Beatles Rock and Roll Music. This is a 2 LP set that came out in 1976, shortly after the Beatles' contract with EMI had expired. The first disc, sides 1 and 2, are basically rock and roll songs, cover songs, or songs that are recorded in like the style of rock and roll. Sides 3 and 4, although you have got Dizzy Miss Lizzie and things like, you know, and I'm Down, but they are more, what would you say? There is a few rock and roll sort of like songs on it, but it's more like pop and rock, and even, you know, a little bit of like Hey Bulldogs on it and things like that. Now, on your video that I didn't see till you'd actually told me that you were sending me these, you didn't, I don't know where you're getting these records from, mate, I really don't, but you found some amazing things, but you did say that there was a disc missing on this, which there is, to be fair, which is disc 2. And in all honesty, I'm not bothered, because I think I've got either a spare disc 1 or a spare disc 2. A 2-box EMI Parlophone, silver and black label. I mean, it does say EMI Records on the outside of the perimeter, but on this side it still says made in Great Britain and not made in the UK. So I would say this is probably a first pressing from 1976. It doesn't actually look in that too bad a condition, to be honest. Yes, it needs a clean, but, you know, for nothing. I can't moan, can I? You know, this is for nothing. I mean, the Vinyl Vault did say, if you don't want them, Dave, just chuck them in the bin. I wouldn't do that. I would never ever do that. I've got Beatles records in there that are scratched to hell. He says as nearly drops them. But I would never chuck anything. Never chuck anything of the Beatles. Never ever. I mean, even some of these inner sleeves. You go on certain selling sites and people want that £3 or £4 just for the inner sleeve. So I don't know where you're getting your records from, mate, but so far, and that's only 2 I've seen, I'm absolutely flabbergasted. And I don't know what I've done for you to actually be sending me gifts. It's nice, don't get me wrong, it is nice. But, you know, and you have done, I'll talk a bit later on something, but yeah, I'm amazed, mate. I really am amazed. All I can say is thank you. The next one is excuse me, the Beatles 1962 to 1966, otherwise known as the Red Album. And I've got quite a few copies of this, to be honest, but again, somebody's gone to the trouble of thinking, I'm going to give these records to Beatle Dave. And it is quite a humbling experience when somebody does something like this for you. I do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, and I'm actually struggling to tell you how I feel, to be honest, because it's very, very overwhelming that somebody would actually go to the bother of giving me anything. And I don't mean that horrible, it's just one of those things, you know. I have had a few things off the vinyl vault before. I think there was a catalogue of a Beatles auction thing. Just before Christmas, we did a deal for a lot of Beatles LPs, and they're all fantastic, mate. They're all fantastic. I cleaned them all, and we agreed a price and everything, didn't we? But there was, there was a great big case full, wasn't there? And that, I think, is one of my most popular videos. I think, up to now, anyway. And I've had a few things off other people have sent me things, like Terry Man sent me a picture that he'd made from photos of the Eye of the Storm. So it's always great when somebody sends you something just as a thank you. Anyway, back to this record. I think, looking at this, before I even open it, this could be an original from 1973 pressing. If you look dead closely down there, it will say printed by Gerald and Lofthouse Limited. Later copies will just say G&L Limited. And I think, yeah, this has got the credit for George Martin, production credit for George Martin. Some of the later copies didn't. Doesn't make any difference as to the value of them or anything. It's just some people will go for one version over the other. You do get the lovely inner sleeves with the lyrics on it, and these are actually in really, really nice condition. Really are in nice condition. I have got a light at the side of me, mate, so I can just, I'm checking them as I'm going through them. That, to be honest, this looks virtually mint. It does look virtually mint, and from the feel of it, and there is even a smell with vintage vinyl. You can't fake the smell of a original 1950s or 60s record. I know that sounds really stupid, doesn't it? But you can't. I would say that is an original 1973 UK pressing of this album. The Apple label is still lovely and crisp on both sides. Later copies, excuse me, in the UK, this Apple label went really, really light, and the red at the back wasn't as vivid or as strong, and that really does, yes, it probably does need a clean, but I'd say that, that doesn't look like it's had any spindle wear, does it? So that, I'm amazed with that. Really am amazed. So thank you again, the Vinyl Vault. Although it's a double album, I will show you both of these, because just to see what the condition's like. You are sort of like seeing these as I am, although I did sort of have a look yesterday. This one is even better. I'd say this one is even in better condition than the other one, mate. You've done, I haven't got a clue where you're going to get your records, but you have hit the jackpot here. That is virtually mint. Or it looks virtually mint, but like that. Oh, I'm so happy. You've made me so happy, mate. You really have made me so happy. Overall condition on that, the discs are virtually mint. The inner sleeves are virtually mint. The only downside on this one is the glue's gone there, but that is not a problem because I've got some glue that I can fix this with. But apart from that, that is in really, really nice condition. For saying that is over 50 years old, isn't it? A lot of albums from the 70s, from EMI and other places, they used some, I don't know what the glue was, and it just drops to bits after time. After time, it'll just go. if you can help it, don't sellotape it. Get some of them, like, it's like a boss stick thing, isn't it? Fix stick, I think they call it. That does it really, really well. You know, you have to take your record out first before you do it. And then if you just do it and then squeeze it along and leave it for a couple of hours to dry, 9 times out of 10, that does it. So far, the vinyl vault has done brilliant. Or I have, haven't I? Because I've got them. So yeah. Oh, it's like Christmas again, isn't it? It really is like Christmas. This is the second lot. It did come in one parcel. Seeing as we've finished that one on the red album, shall we look at the blue album? Because I do know that the blue album is in this one, which would probably be nice to compare it. Again, looking at this, I would say this is a very, very early copy from the early, I'd say between 1973 and 1975, maybe 76. It could be an original copy from 73. Again, it has got the Gerald and Lofthouse credit there. In fact, this cover's in really, really nice condition. It is in really nice condition. Yeah, a little bit of aging to it, which you'd expect from a vintage vinyl, wouldn't you? There is a little bit of staining just there, which you probably won't see, but I think that'll come off in there. I think, do you know, if you get a wet wipe that hasn't got alcohol in it, and you do it really, really gently, 9 times out of 10 that'll get rid of stains. It don't get rid of rips or like that, but yeah. Again, lovely gatefold sleeve. I mean, when you think of some of the songs that are on these, it's amazing. Like these inner sleeves, the glue's gone. See there? That's where you glue it to. That's like a tab there. So all you've got to do is put a little bit of glue on there, and then go like that and hold it for a couple of seconds, minutes, let it dry, and then it should be as good as gold. Blimey. This could be a slightly later pressing. I'd say 73 or 74, only because the blue is slightly lighter, and I mean very slightly lighter. Heavyweight record, and again, this doesn't look like it's ever been played. Lovely shiny vinyl, no spindle wear at all, is there? No spindle wear on that whatsoever. I think somebody might have bought these brand new and taped them, played them once, taped them, and then they put it in the loft or something and they've got damp, and that's why they've gone like that, because the rest of it is virtually mint. I mean, that disc is virtually mint. Again, where are you getting these records from, mate? Where are you getting the records from? Because I know you said you didn't spend much on these, did you? This one's the same. I can't believe it. This is like a brand new album. It really is like a brand new album. It's like this could have left the shop yesterday, or even today. Lovely shine. No marks on that whatsoever. And again, it does look like this has never been played. Really does look like it's never been played. Strange, isn't it? But having said that, I do know people back in the 70s, even in the 80s, who will go out and they'd buy like the latest album and they'd tape it straight away onto a cassette tape, and then they just put the record or the album in a cupboard or in the loft or in the garage. Right, there is actually might not be able to see it. There's a thing in here from Woolworths, and I think it says, oh, I think it says 8th of the 7th 74, but it might say 8th of the 7th 84. Yeah, because we did have Woolworths in the 60s and the 70s, didn't we? Again, the inner lyric sheets need sticking. It does need a clean on the outside, but the discs are mint. The discs are actually mint. It's strange, isn't it? Just strange. I'm over the moon, mate. Honestly, I'm over the moon. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. It's such a nice feeling. This is, oh yeah, it's such a nice feeling. Like I say, it's like Christmas all over again. This is a strange one. This is the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, and I think this could be a Russian pressing or Soviet pressing. The thing with these is, a lot of these Russian or Soviet Beatles records were bootlegged. In fact, I got one when I went to the Nottingham Record Fair a few weeks ago of Let It Be. Now, I thought that was legit, but now I've seen this and I felt this. The vinyl on that is nowhere near as heavy as this, and the artwork on that is nowhere as good as on this, and the quality of the paper on that is nowhere as good as this. So I think that Let It Be is a bootleg, and I would say this is an original. But I could be wrong, and knowing me, I probably am. No, that is... well, the weight on that, I would say that is an original. I would say that is an original. That's the labels. And again, looking at that, there is some very, very slight hairline marks. There's a mark there on side one, which I don't think that'd jump. It's not really feelable. But side two, again, looks like it's never been played. I mean, there's hardly any spindle wear on that, is there? Spindle wear means where the hole is. When they played a lot, all that is usually a bit knackered, to be honest. But looking at that, I would say side two's never been played, but side one has. Now, although I'm saying this is a Russian or Soviet pressing, it is the same LP that you would have got in the UK, i.e. it's just the songs from the film. So on side one you get the songs from the film, and in side two you get the basically brand new Beatles songs that weren't in the film. In America you got slightly different, because you only got you got side one, didn't you, but it was mixed onto two sides with the incidental tracks. But if you lived in Russia or somewhere like that and you went to see the Beatles film, you will probably only play the songs that was in the film, wouldn't you? Or would you? I don't know. But that is quite a curio, mate, to be honest. What have I done to... oh. I don't... I'm absolutely lost for words, mate, and we've still got a couple more to look at yet, but I'm absolutely lost for words. I just can't really thank you enough for this. Such a lovely gift, and I know it's been sent with love and affection, and it will be treated with love and affection. To be honest, I think these records I'm going to put in, do you know the box that the records you gave me just before Christmas? You kind of gave me a big record box as well. I think I'm going to put all these with them to keep the whole collection together, and then when I play these records I'll think of you, mate, the Vinyl Vault. in a nice way. I don't mean in an horrible way or anything like that. You know, it'll, every time I play him, I'll think, what a wonderful bloke, what a fantastic gent. This, you didn't know what this was, did you, on your video? Well, you knew what it was, it's in a sleeve, but you didn't know what LP it was from. It was actually from an LP called The Beatles 20 Greatest Hits, which again was released in 1982. And now, depending where you lived, it had a slightly different contents. Some had Love Me Do on it, some didn't. Some had The Long and Winding Road on it, some didn't. Some had The Ballad of John and Yoko on, and some didn't. And this was the inner sleeve, which I always thought this inner sleeve should have actually been the cover, because the cover was just plain white and it just said The Beatles 20 Greatest Hits on it, and it looked really, really cheap and naff, where this would have looked better, I think. And I think what I might do with this is I might put this in a frame and hang it on the wall. I don't know where, because to me that is, it's like a painting or a work of art, isn't it? This should be on display. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I will put that in a frame, probably make some room up there or something, because that should be looked at, shouldn't it? I think that is a fantastic picture. That's what it is, it's a picture. That is it in a sleeve, you know, where the record would have gone. And I think that is a British one, isn't it? There should be, yeah. Because it shows you like the Beatles all through the career, even into the 70s, from around 1973. If you look at that, because that's Mind Games, isn't it? That's how John looked on Mind Games. That's how George looked on Dark Horse. I have seen a photo of Paul roughly around 1974 looking like that, and that's Ringo from basically when he was did his Ringo album, isn't it? It is actually really, there is actually some really nice pictures on that. If you take the time to look, there's some really, really nice pictures. What am I doing for time? And then the last one is this, a Beatles Collection of Oldies, but Goldies, that is the proper title of it. This is a reissue, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. And this was the Beatles Christmas album of 1966, 1966, sorry, in the UK. This was the first official Beatles compilation in the UK, and everything on this had been released before, apart from Bad Boy, that had never been released in the UK. It had been released in America and other places. And as compilations go, it is actually quite a nice record. Apparently that is the wrong way round, this photo. It's been reversed. It should be the other way around, so George would have been sat there. Some parlophone. And this is strange as well, because excuse me, this cover is immaculate. It looks like this cover could have come out of the factory yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. It's amazing. There's no wear or tear on that whatsoever. Really is not. These were in print from 1966 to about the late 1970s, 1980s. In fact, I know you could still go into record shops and buy these brand new in the 80s, but like that. And then it went onto the Fame label, didn't it, for a short while, and then it was deleted. Officially, this is part of the UK British catalogue, by the way, but it's never ever mentioned, or hardly ever mentioned. Like I say, this was the official Beatles release for Christmas of 1966, and at the time it probably was worth having in one way to get all these fantastic songs in one place, but if you'd already got them, there wasn't really a lot of point for it. The covers always interest me. Again, this cover divides opinion. I actually think that is a very, very good cover, and it like fits in with when it was made, 1966, 1967. You know, Flower Power and all that lot was coming in, wasn't it? And that, but some Beatles fans don't like this cover. We're all different, aren't we? We've all got our different opinions. Again, this is the original look on his sleeve by the looks of it, and that looks like the record's never been out of it, to be honest. And sometimes if you look on certain internet selling sites, people will sell these on their own, these inner sleeves, because some collectors want the original inner sleeves for the records, and they'll sell these for about £10 for one, £9.99 for one, or something like that. Daft, isn't it? Well, it's not, because I can understand if you've got a dead rare record, then you've got to try and get the original sleeve, inner sleeve for it, aren't you? Again, this is on a 2-box EMI silver and black parlophone label. I would actually say this is the late 70s, because it still says, although it says EMI Records there instead of the Gramophone Co., on the other side here it still says Made in Great Britain, which is in very, very small writing, and you probably won't see it, but that just says Made in Great Britain there. In the 80s it used to say manufactured in the UK, didn't it? And this is probably the best one out of the lot, mate, to be honest, looking at it. This does look like it has never ever been played. In fact, it looks like it's never been took out the inner sleeve. This is basically what you would call a museum piece. That, I'll be very surprised if that has ever, I'd be very surprised if that's ever been on a turntable put like that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's all I can say. Wow. I'm flabbergasted, mate. I really am flabbergasted. What can I say about you now, mate? Hey? The Vinyl Vault. Please check him out. Check his YouTube channel out. At least leave him a like. You should actually subscribe, because he does find some wonderful, wonderful records. I mean, he's found first pressings of Led Zeppelin and The Who and things like that, and it's all from like car boots and charity shops. I mean, he does go to the odd record fair, and I've got to thank you, because you did like a little video just for me, didn't you, where you went to record fair and and it was just like you just like looked at the Beatles records. I love that, mate. That really did make me chuckle. It really did. You have made my week. The Vinyl Vault, you have actually made my week. You've lifted me back up. I wasn't in a very good place at the beginning of the week. It's been a bit of a crap week, to be honest. Everything's alright now, don't get me wrong, but this has really, really lifted my spirits. Somebody just doing something as simple as sending me something. I'm still amazed, mate, that you've actually let these go. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is all I can say, is thank you. And that, I think, I don't really know what else to say. I am actually lost for words. I've looked at those again now, and all I can say, mate, is thank you. Honestly, thank you. I can't emphasise that enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So do me a favour, folks, if you've liked this video and you've liked the content, check out the Vinyl Vault. Just make sure it is the one that's based in the UK, though, because I think there's another one that's based in America. I think he's on about 1,000 and something subs at the minute. Great guy, really is brilliant. Great sense of humour, and even if you're not interested in the Beatles, it is a channel to go to if you like your records or your vinyl. And he, like I say, he's found some amazing things. You know, over the past year or so, he has really found some amazing things. And I would love to know where you go, mate. I really would love to know where you all go. Well, I wouldn't, but because then everybody would go, and then, you know, it'd spoil it, wouldn't it? But yeah, you have found some really truly amazing things. You found what was it the other day that you found? A David Bowie FOMO single of Pin-Ups or something, wasn't it? I've never ever seen that, mate, and I've been a Bowie fan since the 70s. I've never ever seen that. So once again, thank you to my dear friend, the Vinyl Vault, for sending me this VCLT. I don't know if it is a VCLT or if it's just, I think he just sent me them as a gift, to be honest. And I'm very humbled by it. I really am. I don't really know what else to say. So I think all that really is left for me to say is, once again, thank you to the Vinyl Vault. Remember, you are the Beatle Dave. If you've liked this channel and you're not subscribed, just please think about subscribing. It does help YouTube promote the channel to other places. If you've liked the video, please leave me a thumbs up. That always helps as well. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please leave a comment. If you know anything about this, any of these records that we've shown today, please just drop me a line. And if you want to be mentioned on Beatle Dave's Twist and Shout Outs again, just leave me a comment and a like. You don't even have to be subscribed, but obviously if you are subscribed, it is really nice. And that's all you do. Just say, yeah, can we have a Beatle Dave's Twist and Shout Out, and then I will try and get you in. Again, if I've cocked any of those names up, I am sorry. I really am sorry. I've just come home from work, and yeah. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it. So until the next time, peace and love to everybody. Stay safe. Be nice to one another. And remember, Beatle Dave loves you. And things can only get better. You know, that's what I'm going to say. I am really struggling for words. I'm overwhelmed at these records. I hope you've enjoyed the video, everybody. I really do. And I hope my pleasure and happiness of receiving these has come through. Like I say, it's like Christmas. It really is like Christmas. So until the next time, it's Beatle Dave saying cheerio, love and peace. I'm out of here. Whoosh.